It is in the middle of the winter here and it is pretty cold here. My wife's been complaining about cold hands, so I bought her a present. A hand warmer. This is actually both a hand warmer and a USB power bank. I bought on eBay for about $10. It looks pretty nice. Looks like a pebble. It has a nice finish. You know, I always buy presents for my wife from time to time, and she always complained that it's not cool. And she always asks for a receipt so that she can return to the store, you know. And this time, it's exactly the same thing. I bought this item, I gave it to her so she can try it. She tried it for a few minutes, and she said exactly the same thing. It's not cool. But this time it's different. She didn't ask for a receipt. I don't know why. In this video, I'm going to do a review and tear down of this unit. I'm going to show you how it works, and I'm going to tear it down and show you what's inside. I'm also going to upgrade it with a higher capacity battery pack so that it would last longer. So let's get started. Now let's do a short review first. It comes in a box with the unit itself, a wrist strap, and a USB cable for charging the unit. The strap has the same color as the unit, so that is pretty nice. Here's what printed on the back of the unit. The capacity is 5200 milliamp hour. Both the input and output are 5 volts and 2 amps. It's got 3 LED indicator on the side of the unit. So when you press on the button here, you show the state of charge of the batteries. Right now it's 2 bars out of 3. And this is the only button on the entire unit. If you press and hold the button, it will turn on the heat option. So you see the 3 LED, they're all red. It's hard to see on the camera. It looks more like pink. And that means the heat is on, maximum level. Okay, if you press the button again, it will turn off 1 LED, and that's level 2. Press once again, and that's level 1 heat. You press one more time, and that's level 3 heat. And you press and hold, will turn off the heat. On the side of the unit, we have a micro USB port, so you can plug in and charge the unit either by a adapter or by a USB power bank. And I'm going to use my USB power bank to charge it. Let's plug it in. You can see the LED will blink and will show you the state of charge of the battery. So right now it's 2 bars. On the top of the unit, we have a full-size USB port output, so you can plug in your USB devices to charge your devices. So I have my phone here, and I'm gonna plug it in, and I can charge my phone by this unit. When you're charging the unit, you cannot use the heat function. So right now I'm charging it with my USB power bank here, and if I press and hold this button, nothing will happen. So the heat will not work when you're charging the unit. But you can use this USB port to charge your devices. So I'm gonna plug in my phone right now. It's charging my phone with this unit. And also when you're charging your phone, the heat function will not work either. So for the heat function to be working, you cannot use any of the USB ports. So you cannot charge it. You cannot use this to charge anything else while you're using the heat function. That means when the heat is on, it has to draw power entirely from the internal battery. As far as heating functions go, it heats up pretty fast. It goes up to full temperature within about 1 minute if you use level 3. And the heat is on both sides of the unit, not just on one side. So the heating elements on both sides. The case of the unit is mostly metal, so this part here is metal. This blue part here is also metal, and I can confirm that with my magnet here. stuck to my magnet. Same here on this side. The only plastic part is this white plastic around the unit on the edge here, but most of it is metal. I have tried the heat function on this unit and it is not very good. It heats up pretty quickly, but it's not as warm as I want it. I think it could be better. And after I use it for only 2 minutes, for the first 2 minutes, and I turned it off, and I click on the battery indicator here, and it shows only 1 bar out of 3. That's pretty bad for only 2 minutes of runtime, and the battery was full before I tested it. So I believe the internal battery on this unit is not very good, and it cannot take the heat, and therefore I think I'm gonna upgrade it with my own battery here, and hopefully it will perform better. And I'm gonna show you its performance after I upgrade it with my new battery here, because right now its performance is not too good. So my next step is to open this up and show you what's inside, and then I'm going to upgrade it with my battery here. It's pretty easy to open up this unit. All you need is a flathead screwdriver, and you can just pry it off like so. So here is the inside of the unit. We've got the heating element on the metal case here, stuck to the metal case by double-sided tape. You can see 2 wires leading to the heating element, and we got the same heating element on the bottom, and you can kind of see the element right down here. I didn't open it up. I don't think it's necessary to open because it's exactly the same as the top part. We got a heat sensor here on this side, and we got 2 18650 size battery pack, so it's the same size as my 18650 here, and they are connected in parallel. So the system voltage is 4 volts, just like any USB power bank, and because they are connected in parallel, the voltage stays the same, but the amp hour is doubled. But is it really 5.2 amp hour as printed on the case here? And that's what I'm gonna find out next. So let's just cut this out. Okay, some green cells in here. So here are the batteries, and there's nothing printed on the back here. And on the front, we've got 3.6 volt, 9 watt hour. And if you do the math, you take 9 divided by 3.6, you got 2.5. And because 2 of these in parallel, the total capacity is 2.5 times 2, and that's 5 amp hour. That is pretty close to the rating that is printed on here. And let me show you how this is wired together. The 2 batteries connected in parallel, a positive terminal to the top, and then the black wire is a negative terminal, it goes to the bottom. That's it. I'm curious to see how much current is going through the system when the unit is running on maximum heat. So I got my amp meter here, and let's turn it on maximum heat. Alright, 2.5, about 2.4 amps. And if I press the button here once, that's level 2. Still the same, exactly the same. Let's try level 1. Alright, that's level 1. Exactly the same. So there's no difference between the levels. It's all 2.4 amps. So at this rate, the unit will be completely empty after you run it for about 2 hours at maximum heat. It's my new battery pack. This one's made by LG, and it's about 3.4 amp hour each. So 2 of these will make about almost 7 amp hour. This is 5 amp hour, so it's about 40% more capacity compared to the original. Alright, so I've got the new battery in, and let's try this again. Alright, it's on. 2.4 amp. That is level 3. Let's try and press once. Level 2. Still 2.4 amp. Press once again. Okay, that's level 1. Still 2.4. It even went up to 2.5 amps. I put on a timer and it's been running for over 5 minutes now at 2.5 amps. Let's see. Wow, it's nice and warm. On this side it's hot to the touch, and it's a bit too hot on this side. On this side it's less hot. I got the thermometer here, and let's see what temperature we got here. 43 degrees Celsius. Okay, 42, 43 Celsius on this side. Let's see what we got on this side. Hmm, 44 Celsius. Maximum is 46, 47 Celsius. Yep, 47 Celsius on this side. So a little bit warmer on this side compared to the other side. But at 46, 47 degrees Celsius is nice and warm for the hands. Now that it gets to maximum temperature, you can see the current fluctuate. And it goes down to almost 0. So it's like a pull switch. We'll turn on and off so that it won't get too hot, and that will get dangerous. So that's a good thing. But if you have this on your hands all the time, and the heat will be transferred to your hands, and this won't happen, so it will run constantly. So I've been running for 10 minutes straight at 2.5 amps. Now let's turn it off. Okay, it's off now, 0 amp. Now I want to see how many bars I have. You can see there, I got 2 bars. So that is pretty good. That means this battery pack is a lot better than the this is brand new, than the original battery pack. This is a huge difference, because you see this one runs for about 10 minutes and it still has 2 bars on here. This runs for 2 minutes and it has 1 bar. So that's a huge difference. So I doubt this one is even 2.5 amp hour, maybe even less. So now all I have to do is just to put it back together, and we'll just snap in just like that. So here it is with the new and improved LG 7 amp hour battery pack inside. With the original battery pack, I was able to run it for less than 1 hour if I run it straight non-stop. And with the new LG battery in here, I was able to run it for over 2.5 hours straight non-stop. So that's a huge improvement with the LG battery over the original battery pack. And not only that, now I can charge my phone without worrying about it going out of juice. So there you have it. If you want to buy a gift for your wife, I would recommend this and upgrade it with an LG battery pack. She's still complaining that it's not cool, or maybe it's a little bit too warm. But one thing for sure, she won't ask for a receipt. And that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed the video and learned something about it. We'll see you next time.